As mentioned previously, the BYO iPad trial class this year has presented us with the opportunity to experiment with different ways of accessing the curriculum and also to investigate alternate ways for children to express their understandings of different curriculum areas. This semester in history, the children are studying a number of units to do with early European exploration and the events that led up to the First Fleet departing for far-off lands. This app, European Exploration in the Age of Discovery, presents us with a really interesting and really engaging way for the children to start off looking at the early explorers and the significance of the explorations that they conducted. It gives students the chance to choose explorers, choose ships, and to send them out on voyages of discovery to navigate their way to new lands and to make new discoveries. And as you can see by the screen right there, we've got only the European continent shown, and the rest of the world is currently black, which to me is a really interesting way for children to gain a deeper understanding of the significance of the events at that time. Down the bottom right, you've got the date, so we're looking at January the 8th, 1492. And you've also got discovery points, with 2,000 being the optimum number of discovery points that children are aiming to get to, depending on decisions made about exploration. So what the children have to do is they have to tap on that lower left-hand corner green arrow, and they have to make decisions. The first spot there that they can tap on gives them one navigator and one ship that they can send out on an exploration or a voyage of exploration. And over on the right, they've got the ability to choose how many supplies to take, and that will actually cost them some of their gold. If I go back out of that area into the second one you can tap on there, this gives the child or the user the ability to employ other captains or navigators and to buy other ships, to also hire additional captains and to build new ships. And the user can have a maximum of 5 captains at any one time and 5 ships. And they have the ability to sell and to buy as they go through the game. The progress is shown over on the right there. So they're given an idea of the percentage of land they've discovered, the percentage of sea they've discovered, and all of those other areas. And they're given an idea of the gold reserves that they have as they go through the decision-making process. So what we might do is we might just send out a very simple exploration or voyage of discovery, and I'll go back to the beginning screen and I'll go into my first area there that I can tap on, and I'm just going to send out one navigator and one ship. So I'm going to tap on that first one, I'm going to tap on that second flute, and I'm going to choose some supplies, and you can see that my gold reserves go down. And I'm going to let that voyage depart. And then you're given the point of departure, which is Spain, and the user gets to draw a path out into the blackness, into the unknown, which is what the explorers did, and then to see that ship head off. At any point, the children can tap on that ship to see what the status is of the ship with regard to supplies, and also the duration of time they've been at sea. So you can see here that that ship has been at sea for 6 weeks already, which gives children a really good idea of the time that it took for these explorers to actually reach any destinations or to make any discoveries. There have been 0 discoveries, and you can see that my supplies remaining are 30 over 50. And it's really, really interesting that in order for the discoveries to mean anything or to make any impact, they have to get back to Spain. So the children have to be really careful about when they turn back, basically, so that they don't run out of supplies. Because if they run out of supplies, the ship is lost at sea. So we're just going to keep going. And you can see here that we've hit land. So as you can see, this ship has reached land, and I can tap on it and see that I have a worryingly low level of supplies left if I'm to get back. And down on the bottom right there, you can see the time is passing, the dates are passing, and I'm told that the expedition has discovered a new notable land feature for this area, the Great Amazon Rainforest. And that part of the map has opened up. Now, what I'm really concerned about is that this expedition is going to run out of supplies and be lost at sea, and you can see there that that is what has happened. So what the user has to do now is set up another voyage of exploration and possibly travel the same route, make the same discovery, but make sure they get back to report it to the Queen and make sure that they've sent enough supplies. So it's an interesting kind of experience for the kids because I think they're being placed in the shoes of explorers, and they're having to make mistakes and to learn from them, and then to make better decisions about what voyages of exploration they're going to send out. So what I'm doing here is I'm going back to the drawing board, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to hire an additional captain. I'm going to choose this character here, and you can look at the information about each of the captains and what they know in terms of navigation and ship keeping. If they're really high in the points level in ship keeping, they're going to use less supplies, for example. I'm going to select that one captain, hire him. I'm going to have to build a ship, and I'll choose this caravel, and I'm going to select that one and build it. And then I'm going to head out with those two ships, send that one, and hopefully travel the same route, but this time get back to tell the Queen about it. So embark, and I'm going to travel down here and go. Okay, so we've made that discovery, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to head straight back to Spain, hoping that I make it with the level of supplies which are now in the red area. We're back in Spain, and now we're told that we have an audience with Queen Isabella. I see that your captain and his ship have travelled since January the 2nd for 81 weeks and made discoveries in distant lands. I will award you gold if you can answer my questions about your journey. And then they're going to be asking questions about what we discovered. And so we've made one discovery, and we've returned to Europe, and we've got a new date there. And the children can then go on, choosing up to 5 captains at a time, choosing up to 5 ships at a time. And what I would be doing next is that I probably would be exploring that coastline and making that continent or that new undiscovered land appear in its entirety. So that's just a brief introduction to this game that can be used as part of the history unit for Year 4. So, many questions might arise. Why bother? What is the value in using this game? Is it worth the time or the potential distraction? Is it a valuable thing to do? Is it as valuable as other strategies we might be able to employ? Well, let's look at what we want the children to understand and to learn. We want them to understand about reasons for European exploration and about the significance of these journeys. After exploring these ideas, we then want them to do some research of one world navigator or explorer or trader. So to me, this is an excellent way to get the students engaged from the very beginning. It places them in the shoes of these explorers and gives them an opportunity in a game environment to follow their paths. When it comes time to do the research, some of the explorers used in this game are actually featured in their research notes. What better way to get them more connected to the writing process than to have given them an insight into the events of the time? Is it worth the time? Absolutely. This need only be played over a half-hour session. The children will pick it up instantly and be engaged and committed to the outcome.